Welcome to the show, 5 Star Fam. I'm AJ, and this is Mark. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. Welcome to another episode of 5 Stripe Weekly, joined by Mark and Atlanta United. They played on Juneteenth and Father's Day, and Josef Martinez did what he does on Father's Day. And good little run outs for the King. I think some would argue maybe he was the man of the match. Maybe some would argue that Luiz Araujo was the man of the match. But both of them combined well for our 2 goals. And but before that, the lineup had very much shades of pretty much the exact lineup that we saw versus Pachuca FC. In that, Rocco Rios Novo was in goal. Campbell and Franco were the center back pairing, with Wiley and Lennon as the fullbacks, and Heinemann and Ibarra in the middle of the park. In midfield, Cisneros and Moreno and Araujo, the attacking midfielders, with Josef up top. And we started off hot. That's what we needed. And especially at the bends, it's something that if we don't get off to a hot start, it starts to, maybe not the boo birds come out, but there are some tension, I think, that you can feel within the stadium because of our recent form. But Mark, kind of give us your quick little maybe summary of this match for you.
Fantastic start. I mean, the best opening 20-25 minutes that I can remember for some time. Getting that super early goal, constantly putting Miami under pressure. Of course, they were missing one of their key midfielders, and then one of the players that was filling in that position, gets himself 2 yellows. I mean, like I tweeted, it's really difficult to get yourself 2 yellows in the first half in MLS. It's one of my main complaints, that they hate giving out first half yellows. But I mean, he it
was deserved. I mean,
it was deserved.
Moreno was getting just fouled all around the pitch.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure we'll talk more about Moreno, but another strong performance for him in the midfield. I think after they went down to 10 men, I think the next, I wanted them to get the second goal before halftime. I felt like Miami were kind of reeling at that point. And I think that Atlanta probably let an opportunity slip in that period. But it's most important that they didn't allow a goal. And you're looking at the XG, it was only 0.9 for Miami. So that's, off the top of my head, that's one of the lowest that Atlanta United's allowed this season. So you love seeing that the really, for the most part, the chances weren't given away. Just a solid performance from the backline overall. And then getting that second goal at about the hour mark, and that's, from there, it was actually pretty easy. So, but pretty complete performance overall, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And it's definitely, now, I wouldn't say it's a, kind of barn burner of an attacking performance, but I would say that the control was there, especially after, that red. And the attack looked like there was some cohesiveness. Yeah. With really only the second time this whole 11 has played together, and so there seems to be some continuity, and for that first goal, I mean, really, really tasty stuff. Josef, picking up that loose ball, and then knowing exactly where to place it on a plate for Luiz Araujo to finesse it into that bottom left corner. And I mean, it's like there's a lot of I think good combinations being built across the pitch in this match as well. What'd you think of Heinemann and Ibarra in the middle of the park? Is it a good kind of defensive and attack combo for you, or?
I'll be honest, in terms of individually, I didn't notice them too much, right? And so, I think there's 2 kinds of ways you can look at that. What I would say, and this has a lot to do with the midfield, was that overall I thought there was control there. When Miami did win the ball or did transition, for the most part, it was snuffed out. For the most part, people weren't out of position, and even building out of the back, there was some risk to it, but I think risk that, like, that's what top teams do, basically. You know what I mean? So it looks shaky, right? Like, it looks risky. I do think there was one or two passes. Like, I remember vividly one from Novo to the middle of the field. I was sure it was going to get intercepted. But for the most part, actually, I thought the building out of the back was pretty composed in the face of individual pressure. And so I think that Ibarra and Hyman did do a decent job. I mean, I think, like I said before, Miami were missing a player in the midfield. I think they were pretty overwhelmed overall. I would say we need to see them against stronger opponents, but before we make a judgment. But I think there's definitely promise there for sure.
Yeah, and it's definitely, speaking about playing out of the back, Rocco Rios Novo starting back there. It allows us to play with a sweeper keeper, and someone that's will condense that space for us. And yeah, it makes it really difficult for Miami to really get out. They, would have had to press really high to really make, pressure for Rocco Rios Novo. But yeah, I mean, it's a backline that's pretty young, but they've got ability on the ball, and I think that's ultimately kind of the difference sometimes is, at least against this kind of side who, maybe aren't going to impose themselves possession-wise like we are able to by just being superior on the ball and being that team that can possess to keep away the ball from the opposition. Mm-hmm. So, we have kind of some technicians that can make that happen for us. That makes it really difficult for the team to, really muster up some momentum in the game. And, Moreno doing his thing to get, Mota sent off, essentially.
Right.
Really, really good stuff. I mean, he as kind of that backup number 10, he is quite dangerous. And yeah, we definitely saw that for the second goal where he shrugged off that challenge. Pretty much was like having to, he rode that challenge, almost went horizontal on the pitch, but was able to stay on his feet. And found that ball for Caleb Wiley, who cut in. I was hoping he was cutting in because, from there, I was, thinking he had that advantage all day. It gets parried, and Luiz Araujo, he's able to put it on a plate for Josef Martinez, who side foots it, past the shoulders of the keeper, and it's quite a beautiful goal. Like that's more of what we need, I think. Those type of counterattacks that are clinical, but also, that's what we have. We have that pace. We have that pace in behind, and the ability of our creative players to find those players that are making runs too. So, some good clinical play. Although, there were other parts of the match where we weren't maybe as clinical and a little frustrating. But in the steed of Thiago Almada and Gonzalo Pineda, who were both suspended, I think that Marcelino Moreno and Rob Valentino did a fantastic job in not only leading from on the pitch, but also off the pitch.
I mean, I think there's some things from this lineup that you can take from this game, like the inclusion of Cisneros, for example. I think with his athleticism and ability to run in behind, I think he's a good foil, especially versus Araujo and Josef. And, I think in general, it is about how to reintegrate Josef into this lineup. Obviously, this team has changed a lot in the last couple of years, and honestly, so has Josef. He looked good this past weekend, but we'll have to see how much he's able to keep this up going forward. So Yeah, overall, I think there's definitely some questions for the coaching staff to answer. Amada still has a couple games out. And so, once he's back in, how does he, who do you sacrifice to bring him back into the lineup? But it's a good problem to have. And at the end of the day, Atlanta United need to win most of these games going forward anyway, because I think especially with this team, we should be hosting at least one playoff game, and so right now we're sitting in 9th. So there's definitely a lot of work to do to get to at least 4th, even though I think that this team should be anyway in the top 3. So, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely the talent is there. We've lost a lot of guys along the way, and sounds like we're like in a war or something. We lost a lot of good men out there, but but basically the spine is like just depleted, and so it really is like we have the talent still. It's just and we have more talent coming in. So, hopefully it does start looking up and we start getting results. We need to start getting them on the road as well. It's going to be
starting next week.
Starting next week. So, but in terms of this match, and I think maybe one of the other thoughts that I had was that the ref, I think, bias aside, I think he had a really, really good match in controlling what was going on, and doled out yellows when they were appropriate, when they were supposed to be, I think, and that's that way it didn't get out of control, and you had a lot of mass confrontations because people were just like, you're calling it there, why aren't you calling it for us? That type of thing.
Right.
And I think Miami more than enough realized that it was like, we're fouling a lot, and it's probably warranted that we're down to 10 men. But
I know soccer purists hate the halftime interviews of coaches, but Phil Neville at halftime was funny though, because he was like, the ref is not going to give us anything, blah, blah. Of course, like right after the whistle blows, of course he's going to be emotional and say stuff, so I won't hold that against him. It was just funny though.
Yep. I mean, he's also used to not only Fergie time, but also a lot of calls going Man U's way. So so not surprised. And also, I mean, with the England's women's national team too, like them being a powerhouse, he's used to getting calls. It's kind of how he's built in a way. So. But anyway, we'll wrap a bow on this match, and Atlanta United, they will play Toronto FC on the road this weekend, and we'll have that match preview later on in this episode. But we'll move on to the news, and the big bit of news, filming this on a Monday. Raul Gudino, the free agent, the Mexican goalkeeper who is that previous Chivas goalkeeper, he has been signed through the end of the 2022 season. It is official. He wrote on Twitter, very happy and excited about this new stage in my career. Proud to come to this great club. Let's go, Atlanta United. Hashtag unite and conquer. He's already starting off right in that sense. Whomever is maybe his agent, marketing team, definitely smart stuff there to already know what our hashtag is for one, and how to pander to the fans. Always good. Yeah. But Boca Negra, he wrote or he said, Raul was a free agent that was well sought after, and we're pleased to be able to secure his services for Atlanta United. He's a goalkeeper with experience in big environments, and we're looking forward to integrating him into the group. He's got 6 national caps for the Mexican team. He has been part of Tata Martino's Mexican camp before as well. He's been part of Porto, Apoel, Guadalajara, and he being not only 6'5", but his game kind of revolves around his reflexes, good aerial game as you would expect with his size, and good penalty blocking ability. So You know, we'll see how good he is with his feet, but I think that offers like a good bit of competition for that goalkeeper spots between Shuttleworth, Rios Novo, and Gudiño. Rios Novo offering that ability on the ball, and then Gudiño offering that size to control the box. But yeah, what do you think of this move? Does it offer something that you like to see coming into the squad?
Yeah, it offers another option, which is the most important thing, right? I think you made the good points about, the difference in his size, a little bit further along in his career as well. He has that pedigree, obviously, having played in Europe and Mexico. At the same time, like the one thing I always like to, caution people about is that he's available for a reason, and so, but I do think it's smart considering the injury that's happened to Guzan. It's just the reality is it's going to be very difficult for him to come back from that, and so Atlanta United do need to be thinking, a little bit, I guess contingency plans, and so Rios Novo is one of them. Gudiño could be, another one of them, but he's another option, right there with Shuttleworth, and so yeah, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense for the short term and the long term.
Right. And so, yeah, if Guzan does, want to continue to play, then this is a short-term loan, or not loan, but short-term move that essentially still keeps our options open for whomever wins out the spot and, proves themselves that they might be something for the long term. So, we'll see. But, yeah, what do you guys think? Gudiño, is he a good move for Atlanta United? Let us know in the comments below. But let's get into the standings in the Eastern Conference. NYCFC, they lead the whole pack with 27 points, having only played 14 games. But a lot of the other teams above us actually have played more games than us. But it's also, I warn against the games in hand kind of crowd that think, oh yeah, those are just points in the bag if you count them up. It's like, oh yeah, so we should be higher up in the standings. Nope, you still have to earn those points. You still have to get those points to get up the standings. And right now, yeah, I mean, we are at a better point per game than at least the two clubs ahead of us in Charlotte and Cincinnati. And I would say if you look at the roster, we definitely have a better roster than those two. So at the very least, with maybe one or two games less than the teams above us, we should probably be a little higher if we can do the business. But yeah, I think it's probably appropriate where we are at the moment, kind of with just how many points we've dropped and the issues that we've had with injuries. So,
and honestly, looking at the field, it's a tough field. I mean, for Cincinnati has been better than they usually are, right? Charlotte, I think, has come out of the gate a little better than I expected, and I think most people. So New England has recovered as of late. And we remember how good they were last year. So, I mean, one or two good teams are going to miss the playoffs. So, I think that it's going to be a battle to the end.
Mm-hmm. Well said. And Miles Robinson, he was seen putting weight on his foot, on his Achilles. He's still got a long road ahead of him, but and I don't think he's ahead of schedule. But it is really great to see him post about that. And I mean, him being able to just move around without the boot slightly, even though I'm sure he's still going to have to use the boot for a majority of the time. It's still a sight for sore eyes to be able to see him making some progress. So good stuff to see. Moving on from that, Tyler Wolff, he got the start for the U.S. Youth National Team U20s, and then he, in a rout, he scored the third goal to clean up in the front of the net for the third for the U.S. Youth National Team. And George Bello, speaking of academy players or youth players, George Bello, he was at the Benz for Father's Day good to see him in his summer off. You know, he's taking in some of the games at the Bend, so you know, always great to see him as well. And also, those Juneteenth kits with the Juneteenth numbers on the back. Yeah, what did you think about you know, the numbers and, you know, the meaning?
I thought it was great. So, and it's funny you mentioned that. So I actually did a little write-up for 2 Cents FC about those numbers. It was by Judah Middleton, an artist based in Brooklyn, New York. And yeah, you know, it's like the kind of the inspiration behind the numbers. You know, for her, it was like representing unity. You know, sort of strength in numbers, that sort of thing. And I just thought it was a beautiful design, to be honest. You know, so you know, and I love that the league continues doing these initiatives with the Black Players for Change organization. You know, I think that organization has, you know, certainly left its imprint, or so far has been leaving its imprint on the league, or making its imprint on the league. So, you know, overall, I thought it was great to see. You know, I also appreciated the TIFO. You know, something so specific to Atlanta and, you know, Black Atlanta culture. You know,
a nod to Freaknik, which if you know, you know. One of those epic parties in the 90s.
There's no pictures of Freaknik.
Nope. And there probably shouldn't be.
Nope.
Yep. Definitely epic.
yeah. But it's good to see. Like, I love seeing those so sort of like personal references. You know what I'm saying? Not just like the corporate splashovers that you often see with you know, celebrations like this one and other ones as well. So, but no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great to see overall, and like the numbers I think are pretty cool. And yeah, they're going to be auctioned off to fans, and proceeds are going to go to Black organizations of MLS team cities. So, you know, a good cause overall. And yeah, just love seeing stuff like that from the league.
Exactly. Yeah, more of that ramp up into infinity, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, really, really great stuff. I dug the design as well, and yeah, it was definitely. I think also, FTC UTD are also doing a version of theirs that you can get yours done if you want some numbers on the back, and want to support all of that. But yeah, that does it for the news, and it gets us into the match preview. And this Saturday at BMO Field, we're playing Toronto FC, 7:30, and this is a team that's they brought in a Lorenzo Insigne who isn't in the squad yet. He'll be in there in July, but it's almost maybe like they're waiting on him a little bit because, they're in the depths of the Eastern Conference. But, the whole team is a massive question mark. A lot of big departures in Josie Altidore, Jefferson Soltado. He also left, and Richie Laria, Omar Gonzalez. It's just a mass exodus of this squad.
I believe Kamar Lawrence also left.
Yeah. And so, there's or maybe he was about to be gone at the time of that preview in the beginning of the season. But either way, they haven't brought in a ton of talent. But the other DP acquisition was Mexican international Carlos Salcedo. And so it's a squad that is a work in progress. They still have Alejandro Pozuelo, though, and he is still trouble. But, and then also Michael Bradley still in there as well. But it's a very much changed squad that should be gotten at. we should be, putting them to the sword if all goes well. Because predictions from the MLS writers, they have them finishing as high as 5th, but as low as 10th. So not a squad that is, kind of expected to make waves. Maybe until Insigne maybe plays a part, but we'll also see, if he actually makes an impact like, the Atomic Ant, or if he makes more of an impact like, Homeboy at Chicago Fire. So it will remain to be seen. But let's get into the lineup predictions. So getting through the lines, I think, you get a clean sheet. You control a big share of the possession. I think you're not probably going to change too much. So Rios Novo is in between the sticks for me. Agree?
Agree. Yeah. I think he was solid enough that you stick with him.
Yeah. And then in the back line, I think it's Lennon, Franco, Campbell, and Wiley again. What do you think?
I do like Wiley getting these opportunities. And like as I said before, like Franco Campbell is our best center back pairing with what we have available. So, unless there's a need for rest or an injury, they should be starting.
Yeah. Because, DeJohn, decent backup, but I think it's one of those where, if you're going to take these lumps anyway, I think George Campbell is that guy that should be the getting the bulk of the minutes. Into midfield, what do you think?
I think that Josetu comes in for Hyman, and Ibarra, I think, retains his position. I think Josetu may be just offer you a little more passing, a little more calm, in terms of building out the back. That's what I would do.
Yeah. And I don't think, I would have Hyman in there, but I don't think, you'd go wrong with Josetu in there. I think to make sense of maybe your move to bring back Josetu, it's the first start for Hyman in the league since his ACL tear. So, I think you bet him in a little slower, perhaps. Even though, he may be match fit, and his game isn't based on explosiveness anyway, so it's something that's probably would be fine if he played back-to-back matches, but so that's why I have him in there. I think that continuity is going to be pretty important here. Let's get into the attacking midfielders. What do you think?
I think again there's no need to change. So Araujo, Moreno, and Cisneros. I think that we saw a bit of chemistry, and hopefully we'll see more of that this weekend.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be no surprise that we will stick with the same attacking four. Josef up top, and it's that like Cisneros and Josef, they offer a little bit of yin and yang, a little bit too. Obviously, with Raul Cisneros being more of a target. And on the wing, like I think he did okay. There are some points in time where I feel like in possession he could have maybe offered more, but he's not that type of player. I think he's more of a fox in the box, kind of more target forward, perhaps that will offer, like you were saying, that foil to Josef Martinez, and but also somebody that can run in behind. So it offers that bit of dynamic that's not only that we've been missing, but also something that's we've almost really never had in a forward line. Like we haven't really had a guy that you can punt the ball up to and expect him to kind of keep it for you a little bit while he brings in others into the game. I mean, Josef Martinez does that, but he does that in a different way. I think dropping deeper versus Raul Cisneros. He will be on that left side, and you can punt it to him where he can keep it on that left side, and will be much higher up on the pitch. But so it'll be very interesting. I think if we keep that same 11, we shall see. Do Do you agree with Marc? Will it be Rossetto over Heinemann? Let us know. But guys, let's get into the score prediction. What do you got, Marc?
No, I'm feeling confident going into this game, actually. Not only because of the performance against Miami, but Toronto has just not been very good this season. Like, the offense has been average at best. Defense gives up a lot of chances. They actually lead the leagues in saves as a result, and so I think that we should be able to create those chances as well. And we've been undefeated in our last 3 versus Toronto, winning 2 of those matches, and I think we'll win again this weekend. I got us 2-1.
Okay, yeah, I love that. I hope so. I'm not as bullish. I think we're gonna do a 1-1 draw, maybe, or maybe more than that. Who knows? But I think it's gonna be a draw. I know we need it. We can beat this team. I think, we're still kind of getting some bearings. We're still, I just don't know if we have it on the road quite yet. And I think it's the start of a tough road trip here. But, I think this is one where we need to at least get a result here. And I think we can. It's 1-1 for me. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. But, guys, that wraps it up for the match preview and pretty much the entire show, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, what do you think of Rocco Rios Novo? Did he live up to the hype that some fans gave him? Really interested to see what you have to say. Get at us in the comment section. And, it will be, of course, it's one match, small sample size, but for those that watch the match, is it something that you want to see more of? I mean, obviously, with a clean sheet, with the ball at his feet, and he's comfortable, and then, some decent saves, I think it ain't too bad. But obviously, some reinforcements will be coming in the July window in Gudiño. Yeah, we are looking forward to what you have to say. But, guys, that is the episode. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. And for Marc, I'm AJ. Thank you so much for watching.